I'm just gonna
Okay,
take the top off
now we
this.
are.
It looks like the moonshine here that's there
Yay.
and stuff. Cool. Hey, Danny.
Hi.
Hi. So I'm Dave. This is Danny. We're here on the Local Frequency Podcast and from the DMV Music Alliance in Washington, D.C. And we've got our friends Joshua, Samiah, and John.
Andrew.
Andrew, right. But you looked like a John to me for a second. That was it. Because you're going as Peak Bloom, where it's at. So Peak Bloom and Samia and Hugh are going to be playing for us at the next local frequency concert at the Pocket here in DC. And we're talking to them real quickly about their music, their journey, their influences, what they're trying to do with themselves, and the whole deal. Why don't you guys take a minute, work around the horn, introduce yourselves, tell us just a little bit about yourselves, and we'll jump in, talk. It's loose, it's casual, it's the thing. Andrew, since I blew your name, why don't you start?
All right. Hey, I'm Andrew with Peak Bloom. I play guitar for us, and we're just going through just kind of like our music, what we're about right now. Is
Yeah,
that our?
that's
Yeah.
yeah, talk about
All
it.
right. Yeah, sure. I mean, we are a punk. I don't know what genre you want to call it. Punk band from DC. We have actually been together for almost like 6 years now, something crazy like that. Um, Writing a ton of stuff. We actually had an EP come out at the start of the year. We're really excited about. Even though the music's all now like 3 years old in our head, it's excited to finally have that out into the world. And yeah, we've kind of been building momentum with that. Yeah, just looking forward to a show at the Pocket. It's gonna be a great time.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm Josh. I'm the guitarist for Samiah, and yeah, I just kind of joined Semi recently. We just did a video. What was that venue called, Samiah?
Wait,
Or not the
what
venue,
thing?
the place we recorded the video at again.
Which vid? Oh, for Baltimore Stages Music Arts.
Stage
Mhm.
music, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I've been playing guitar and for my own stuff for a while, kind of thing. But I just knew that she needed some band members, so I just kind of hopped in kind of recently. Yeah.
All right, superstar, tell us about you. Tell
Hi,
us
I'm the
about
Samiah of Samiah. And I've been pretty much singing and performing my whole life. I went to school for music. I didn't really enjoy it as much because I found out I actually just prefer kind of doing like more just, you know, fun stuff as far as rock goes. Like I didn't quite, at least at the time when I went to music school, it really wasn't catering to what I wanted to do, which was like, more flyleaf, hailstorm kind of ish things. And I ended up kind of finding my own way outside of it. And what I do now, I would probably classify as a mixture of like hard rock and alternative. And I think it's exactly where I need to be.
Yeah, awesome.
love
Um,
that. It's just one of the things that's like super interesting to me about like punk and metal right now is like like a million years ago, because that's when I was a kid. It was like there was like it was not today. There's like 1,000 subgenres, right? It's like death, trance, dark, metal. It's like it's everything of every different kind. So when you just kind of sit in there and go, yeah, like I'm like I don't know, alternative rock, something like that. I'm like that's it's amazing like how niche people can get about it now. And that's just always been something that's it's like always been like super interesting to me as it started to go. I can't keep track, and it's always so interesting when you get onto like the streaming platforms and they ask you to like go through and certain because we had this too recently. Like we're building this platform that we're just turning loose right now, and we're trying to figure out as we're building it like the system for how artists like you get in touch with us so that we can pair you up with venues and like get you shows and soon it all gets off. It's like we went through this list. Data, did you see that list where there was like 1,200 different genres of music?
oh, you mean
Like,
on ours?
well, no, it's like was as I was like
Oh,
helping like plug in which genres to go. I'm like,
yeah.
okay, this is like way too granular. Like, it gets bonkers. When you like think of it, I hate the other thing that comes into is like they always are asking, who do you sound like? Which for me is one of the hardest questions. Like, it's like
It
I know
is.
who influences me, I know who I like, but it's like I have no clue how to answer who I sound like. How do you deal with that question? Like when people come at you?
For me, it's very difficult because I feel like I can hear my influences in what I do, but like you said, I don't feel like I sound exactly like them in any way. But so what we've kind of done is like chosen our biggest, and I think that that tends to quell. Like for me, vocal influences would probably be just as I stated earlier, like Flyleaf, Amy Lee from like Evanescence. And I know every band on earth says they sound like Evanescence, but just for me, she is like who I essentially started singing to and with as a
Uh-huh.
kid. So it is actually a truth in that my vocal style was developed from listening to her.
That's where it's at. Totally.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh man, great. Another another cat cameo. Love it. That's it. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll just let that go. So Andrew, man, as punk again, influences like what do you do? It's like it's are you
Right.
in
I mean,
DC?
I describe myself as punk question mark, like, how do you
Punk?
even, how do you, and like, what's the line between something being like, when we say like, oh, we're a punk band from DC, people instantly kind of go to like a Bad Brains, Fugazi, like kind of like,
Right.
or even something that's like more just like a straight like hardcore like
Mhm.
80s kind of style punk, and that's not really what our vibe is. But I think a lot of the bands that you'll see today that would put themselves in the punk or punk adjacent genres are pretty similar. Like I feel like we end up, just because we're female fronted. I feel like we end up sounding like a lot of the groups like Remember Sports, Diet Sig, um, maybe a little bit of the Beths, but like we also try to, like, with our guitar, we try to like, I feel like we try to bring in a lot of like 90s influence, like 90s emo, 90s like emo influence on
Okay,
the
that's
guitar a little bit. So like, I don't know, it's not as like straightforward as like, we say whenever I introduce ourselves as like punk band, that people instantly go to that kind of like hardcore kind of style place, and that's not necessarily the thing, but I still think it's you know I think we still have fun with it.
so this is like great. I'm dating this one woman like a couple years ago, and Danny loves this because like when I talk about stuff like that, she's like completely entertained by like my life. So it's like fantastic, right? But I'm dating this girl like some years ago. Oh, dude, another cat bug cameo. This is so fantastic over
It's
there.
the same cat.
God, he's so attention hogging
It's
for
like
no reason.
it's
Right
so
now,
good.
it's just like,
It's like and okay, yeah, and it's like
I think that
slow.
needs to be like a CD cover,
Yeah, no,
an
it's
album
great.
cover.
It's great. That's it's Joshua and the cat butt cameo. It's gonna be like the next tune that comes out that way. But like, so I'm like hanging out with her, and it's like, and her daughter, who's like teenager at the time, comes up and goes like, "Oh, hey man, Dave, I like made this whole playlist of like punk music, and I'm like really into it." And she shows it to me, and it's like all power pop.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's like I'm like looking at this thing, like the hardest thing on it is like Limp Bizkit or whatever like that, and it's like I'm going, oh,
That's
okay. And I'm like, it's nice, but it's like it's not really punk. And like, and her mom's like, well, what's a punk like that? And I'm like, and I can say this now. It's like I'm just gonna say, Alexa, I'm like, play Minor Threat like that, right? And it's like
Hmm.
instantly it pops on Minor Threat, right? And like they're screaming in the back and they're doing the whole thing. And the mom's like, that's punk. And I'm like, well, clearly you weren't there, back in the day at that point, right?
Don't say
And like
Fugazi, New York Dolls. I
I'm
mean,
like, yeah. And then I'm like, oh, and she's like, well, anybody could do this. And I looked at her and I'm like, yeah, and that's what they said about like Jackson Pollock and Mark Rothko too. It's like I don't think you get what's happening here. It's not that anybody can do this, it's that they're doing it intentionally, right? And it's like, but it's like it's grown out of that in like such a hard way because it's like, like rockabilly. It's like it's just three chords, the blues. It's just three chords. But what's existing now, like that's grown out of it in math, I think punk has like moved into like some amazing directions. And you still have to like stay like loose and flexible with your ears, right? It's like with local frequency, we'll hit every single genre and it doesn't matter. Right. It's like it's not about like, we're just gonna do like bluegrass shows, or we're just gonna do like jam band shows, or we're just gonna do metal shows, or we're just gonna do this. It's like it's nothing about that. The whole point about it is finding cool, interesting new music across all the genres. It's just good, right? Like my favorite like playlist on Spotify's Pollen. Because it's like it's even better than like new release. It's just every single genre shows up. It's just good, right? Like curated as a list or whatever. And so it's like super cool to like explore and say, hey, you know what? Actually, that abstract art, that minor threat, that's that's important. Right? It's like this is like a
Yeah,
foundationally
yeah. I was gonna say foundation's
in
important.
music, and
Hmm.
then it provides then this like unbelievable tree that like expands of like huge stuff like math rock. Where the hell did that even come from? I don't even know what's happening. Joshua knows what's happening in that.
Uh,
Here, I'm just gonna
kind
mix like
of.
6 or 7 modes and tunings, and like we're all just somehow gonna make that work because we have like 8 string guitars everywhere.
Yeah, no, it's really funny for me personally. I like keeping things super simple. I before I used to have just like a 6505 kind of thing, and I just had distortion, clean, that's it. And then just kind of like what was it like I don't know if I've had like 2 years or 2.5 years of quad cortex I just got, which like has like a bunch of like effects and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, if I don't buy this that has everything in there, that I can kind of just like check other people's presets and some stuff like that. Like I'm
Hmm.
never gonna use effects. So I got that. Now I'm like messing with like different effects now. To like actually one song that we're gonna be playing, I have like 3 different patches with like a distortion clean and like a crunch kind of thing. That like I blend into them in between the song and stuff like that. So that's really helpful. For that. But yeah, like I don't really try to overcomplicate things with like math rocky stuff. Although for my own personal stuff, I do what's it called? I do try to like do some crazy like leads with like just like while doing chords and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I just try to make or at least for my stuff, like I just try to make riffs that are like very fun but like annoying for people that don't know what's going on. It's like what the fuck is he doing? That kind of thing.
We,
I mean, you
we
have to, it's weird to have to say you got to listen closely to what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right? It's like you
yeah.
really, and it's like to say that like all of that is happening. It's like, and okay, so one of the things that's super funny about this too, Danny, is like when I first reached out to these cats to like set up this show, and it was like, it was like, okay, well, we'll just grab like two you got, it was like, we were just gonna have like two, and it was gonna be like 45-minute sets or whatever like that. Josh was the one who like reached back to me and goes, dude, we don't do 45-minute sets, man.
He did.
It's like we're bringing in Pete Bloom, and I'm like, oh, cool, because we love that, right? It's like the first thing I said to Samiah was like, who do you want to have play with you, right? It's like when we like book someone, it's like the first
Yeah.
questions are is like, who else do you think is going to fit with you, and like what's going to happen? It's really the way we approach it, right? And actually, when you guys bail out, Sarah will be like, now who do you think should also be like playing with us, right? It's going to be like that. No, it's true because it is. It's how the community is built. But it's like I loved that where it's like, look, dude, after 30 minutes, we're wrecked. It's like we're
Yeah.
done, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Well,
I
like,
don't think you get this. This isn't like somebody just standing there going like this or whatever like that. It's
Yeah.
30 minutes and we're out. It's like it's where it is. And like the person who we were talking to before is like Tiffany. She's like about health and wellness for musicians and talks about like how hard we are on ourselves as we do this. And I love that we were able to put you guys together like that because it's like here comes this unbelievably ear bleeding thing. We're telling everyone it's like we're bringing earplugs for you whether or not you like you want to use them or not. We're bringing it. It's like it's a public service that this is happening, right? It's like but like
yeah.
it fits because you play so hard. It's like you're wrecked afterwards and you like go all the way and you put everything into it. Then it's one of the cooler things about like the fit that's going to be there. And it should be a great show. All right, so
Yeah. I like to think that like we're like the I joke that we're like the we subscribe to like the Joyce Banner style of songwriting, and what all of our songs are like a minute and a half to like 2 minutes long. Our our 30-minute set is still gonna be like 14 songs. So and that's like with transitions and everything like that through it. So I like to joke it's we're quantity over quality, but it's gonna be loud and uh, fun the whole time. So
It's true, and you don't. That's the other thing that like rolls with you guys now too, is you don't really fit into that, the look of the old punk rocker,
no.
right? Where it's like this was all about the look, it was all about the pit, and I'm wondering how that's gonna go. Like, do you guys end up with pits when you play?
We have had that at a couple basement shows, which is awesome.
Hmm.
Uh, definitely, definitely love that. But like we'll have other shows that'll just be maybe more of like the head nod crowd. I mean, either way, as long as people are there and having a good time, it's
I'm
you
I'm
know,
deeply curious about like how that's gonna go at the pocket.
it's small, so
Small.
maybe
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe
I
people will need
was
a.
wondering
There
too.
won't be much room for a pit to
No.
open up, but
Yeah, it's like how's that? This is one of the things I was thinking about too. I'm like, well, yeah, you guys are metal, but you're bringing in a punk band with you, and I'm like, huh.
If we were like super hard band, we'd have the hallway of death.
I know.
yeah, exactly.
It's an
Um,
interesting
yeah, what was I
space.
gonna say? Yeah, no, it really just depends. Like you were saying on the crowd too, because like, what was I? I was at when we were young. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Saves the Day, but like they had moshes going on, like very big ones. I was like, it's kind of crazy. Like I was in it, but like it was just kind of crazy, like that so many people are just like in on it, kind of thing, you know?
Oh yeah, no, it's back in my day when I saw Minor Threat and those guys, it was like you needed like the jacket. It was like armor. Right. It's like the leather was there for a reason. It wasn't just to look cool. It was like defensive. It's like you needed like padding to be in there. But there was like a change in it though. Like there was like a change that kind of occurred where it used to be it's like originally it was like really friendly. People just kind of pushed each other around, and it like wasn't like that. But it started to turn a little bit violent for a while, and it was a drag, but the crew would police it. It's like if you got to be too much of a jerk back then, it's like someone would drag you out, right? And it was kind of like a self-policing thing. But man, you couldn't pay me enough money to get into a pit now. I'm sorry. It's like I'm old and I'm tired and I'm brittle and it's just not. It's still I'm still in the Lemmy space of if it's too loud, you're too old, but I own my own physical limitations at this point. And the
We
Yeah.
concept too of
we
like,
we got to we got to play with this band Enola Gay at
Oh yeah.
DC9
oh yeah.
um a while back, and let me tell you, I was in the pit for that one. I'm in my 30s, but I was still in the pit for that one.
Yeah.
So
Wait, that
uh
space is even smaller up there.
Yeah.
At
yeah.
DC9, how I would love to see how that went.
Yeah, that was a super fun show.
The
But
pit
yeah.
of two. Where there is two, there is a pit. It's like that's
Yeah.
that's how it goes. It's so. What are you like? What was with the record? Tell us about the record, man. Like where you made that, Andrew. How did that
Yeah.
go for you?
So this is our second recording project that we've done. I mean, I mentioned like we have a set of like 14 songs in 30 minutes. So like we've got plenty of material. We haven't recorded,
Hmm.
like barely scratched the surface of what we've actually got. But we recorded this one with Ben at Ivacota, who I'm
Man,
sure
he
other
puts
people that
such
you've
great records these days. It's such a great.
yeah, yeah,
So
such
we
a
got to
great.
get Ben at one of the shows to like let people like know about it.
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah,
you've had
I
other
want to
bands
have him
from
as a industry professional.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
featured. Yeah.
Yep, we got to go.
yeah.
Okay,
So
sorry to interrupt you. My bad.
no, totally. So I mean, great process. I mean, you seem to be familiar with Ben, so you know he's super chill and easy to work with. We basically, I mean, these are songs that we've had for a while, so we were able to kind of like try to make the most of like how much of this can we knock out in like a weekend or two. Um, but yeah, I think it came together really nice, and uh, we were luckily able to kind of like start the year off strong with it, and just been keeping that momentum up with shows since.
So like I know that space from before he bought it, right?
Yeah,
Like it was like it literally the roof it leaked, right? It was like crashing in. There were these two brothers lived there, and one of them actually taught my kid how to play guitar. He was like his first guitar teacher or whatever. And they like moved out to LA, and then Ben like moved in there and like fixed it all up and did everything. But like those booths were bedrooms, and like,
Hmm.
it's a it's it's a great space. It's big. It's like you can bring an orchestra in there practically to like, a small like thing to record, and super comfortable. He's just done such a great job. So we can't give him enough juice to try and get like any musicians who are listening to try and like say, man, get in touch with Ben. Because it's not just a cool space, he's like a cool guy, and he makes great records. There's just no way about it. He's like that. So, what about the rest of you? What have you got going, like in terms of what you're releasing? How's it going for you? What's the process? Where'd you do it at?
So as far as what we're working on a second EP that, although it'll be similar, where it's like old for everyone else, but I mean old for us, but new for everybody else rather. But I've put
Oh,
together a bunch of songs. I feel bad because they're like songs from like how I was feeling about the state of the world, so they're not the happiest songs, but you're gonna get them anyway. So, that's like you don't get a choice. I'm sorry. But I've picked out like all of my favorite ones, and I've already given it kind of the title, and I'm just excited to kind of fine tune everything. I've been doing that for a while, but now that Josh is around too, I think it's going a lot faster too. And I'm excited. So if not later this year, my goal is to at least have things recorded by later this year, but it
yeah.
could be next year's release. And I'm just hoping that everyone kind of vibes with it, to be honest.
It's one of the things. Okay, so you said something that I really identify with, because it's like without that partner, you never know when to stop, right? And you don't have that
Right.
person who says, just let it go and let it out,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
where,
I've
again,
done
it's
it.
like how you feel about the world, and it's like super personal. Like, it's like you're a singer, and I once said to someone, I'm like, there's only the most vulnerable thing in the world is to sing in front of other people. You're naked. There's nothing. You can't hide behind an instrument. You got nothing. It's just your voice. If your voice cracks, if you're off pitch, you got nothing, right? You're the one
It
who gets,
happens.
and it happens, and it's where it goes. But the only thing more vulnerable than that is singing a song you wrote, right? Because it's like
Yeah.
then you're just like laying yourself naked and bare for rejection, but yet you just got to do it because you can't keep it in, right?
Yeah,
Having that collaborator who can just say, come on, stop. That producer that just says, no, we're
Yeah.
there. It's like, it's time. You got to let it go, because you'd never let it go.
No, and I'm such a perfectionist where like I'll do something over and over again. I'm like, no, I can do this better. No, I can do this better. And so what
Right.
I've taken to doing with a lot of this is like not even when I record, like even the last album, like I don't listen to it very much. Like I'll listen to it once or twice and then I'll give it to everybody else, let them listen to it because and then it'll come back to me and I'll maybe revisit it in like a couple of weeks and so I can finally hear the good things about it because
Mhm.
otherwise I'll just nitpick everything.
Yeah,
Like,
we hear it
yeah.
all,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, and the mistakes, the things you don't want, they come right out. And then it's
Yeah.
like everyone else is like, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah.
Like, it sounds great. And it's like, no, 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 no. There's that one note
Yeah.
that's in there. There's that one thing that was like just
Oh, there's
right,
always that one note. And it's
right.
just like
And
no.
it's, I mean, seriously, too, it's like it does take years. I mean, it comes out when it's ready to come out, right? Don't you feel that? Like, where it's just like you sit there going, it's not new to me, but it's like sometimes you just got to plan. Sometimes it just all comes out at once. Other times it just comes. I mean, like, when you're writing the song, what is the process? Do you feel like the music comes first, the lyrics come first? What is it that the hook hits you? Where does it come from?
So for me, it's always melody. For some reason, I'll just walk around and it's like a melody. Or I've even had times where I'll like wake up because I heard a melody and just like quickly voice record it and then go back to sleep. But yeah, everything starts around the melody and we'll build like music around it, whether it's guitar or anything else. And that is, I would say, is probably my strong suit, is just making really, really interesting melodies that aren't typical.
That's it. That's where it's funny you say that. That's actually how like Keith Richards wrote Satisfaction.
I did
He
not know
kept
that.
he would keep a cassette tape back then in the days of stone tablets and like, cassette tape recorders. And he had like this old cassette tape thing like next to his bed. He'd wake up, and of course it's Keith Richards, so he's hammered, whatever, who knows, doesn't even remember it. And apparently he like sang it into the tape deck and then passed back out. And that's where that song came from, right? So
It
you
happens. I
right?
don't know how to explain it because like even Jabari, he couldn't be here because he had like another show he was playing tonight. But like he is who I write a lot of things and co-write with as well. And it was just like he's like, "How do you do this?" And I was like, "Honestly, sometimes I come up with like songs and lyrics and I don't understand why. I don't understand what it's for, and then it'll like hit me later." And I'm like, "Oh, it was about this. It just hadn't happened yet." He's like, "How do you do that? You're so weird." And I was like, "I don't know."
Oh, dude, I'm waiting for that butt cameo. It's coming. I know that that is just like too much of the book, right? It's gonna be there on that one. Andrew, what's your thing? Like when you guys like go to write,
Yeah.
you're like creating new stuff. Where do you, how does your process roll?
Yeah, I think well similar to Samiah, like I think coming getting that like melody and then like kind of like that like for me it's more of like what's like the hooky guitar part that's going to be the thing that kind of anchors the song is kind
Mhm.
of like what I want to get to. But like we usually start off with like a chord progression that we think sounds cool. It might just be like kind of like two or three chords that we think kind of sound kind of cool together, and we'll kind of flesh that out in practice, maybe turn that into like, no, this is like a verse and a chorus. And then I'll usually try to figure out, is there some sort of a uh, melody line that, usually through guitar, that I can like kind of put against that chord progression. That might turn into what the vocal melody ends up being, and then we'll come up with like a counter melody that finishes it off. But that's usually kind of the process for us. Is it's usually music first. We'll kind of come up with like chords for, what does a verse chorus look like, and then some sort of melody line, and then our singer will kind of come in and find find like interesting spots to put like dynamics into the song and
Mhm.
uh build out the build out the vocals for it. So it might be something where we have a song that we work on in practice for like 6 months with no lyrics because
Right.
and kind of ask her each practice like, so we got lyrics yet? So we got lyrics yet? We got lyrics yet? Got lyrics
What do
yet?
you,
She
what do
probably
you,
hates it, but
oh, dude. Oh, it's apparently like the Beatles' Let It Be was originally scrambled eggs. Like they do the thing where it's like they just come
mhm.
up with like gobbledygook that like fits the scansion or whatever. When you look
Yeah.
for topics, where do they come from? What like touches you that makes you want to write about? Like TV party, are you like Rollins like in that situation where you just want to write a song about a TV party? No. What is it? What like turns on the lyrics and the part of the song for the subject?
So for us, I mean, it's mostly our singer is the one coming up with the lyrics. I was our original singer and
Yeah.
did lyrics for our first couple songs. I needed to not be in that role because that is not a strength of mine. So I always kind of struggled there.
Sweet poetry.
You
Yeah.
can always kind of go back to the well of past relationships, and kind of milk that for what it's worth. But
Right.
uh,
Hey
I
man,
think
good breakup album. That's like
oh
that's
yeah,
where it goes, right? Where would we be without it? It's like there's
right,
there's the one where it's like, it's like, how come you never written a song about me? Well, you really haven't like broken me yet. So it's
yeah.
like, I'm sorry, I don't
Yeah, no,
I don't think you
you're
want one because they don't always come out very nice. I'm sorry. It's
yeah.
like it's sometimes it goes that way, and sometimes it doesn't. All right, so I'm gonna like turn it to Danny. She knows that I'll talk forever, and she never seems to butt in, and she like chomps at the bit about the whole deal. But I do have like the group question, the Sabbath show, the last
Yes,
Sabbath show. Did you guys stream it? Did you watch it? Like
I
what?
did.
Like the takeaway? What did you think? I mean, of course.
It's so bittersweet, I think, because like he's such a legend, and it's like it's both sad and like but it's also beautiful, the tributes that came out of it too. And just seeing
Yeah.
him enjoy performing for what will be his last time was really, really amazing.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's hard to say that that would be like the you get chills or whatever you see it and stuff, but it was like that for me. I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe this is like happening or whatever. Huge that way. Right? Danny, how did you feel about it? Did you watch any of it?
I did, and it's just at our age, all of our at least my idols, right? All of my favorite singers, they're all dying. So I'm like, I just if I could just see them one more time, if I had the money to go, see in person, I would. But yeah, I mean, it's very sad. You don't want them to, grow old and not be around to do more live concerts for you. For me personally, it's I having worked in at venues, I recorded music honestly just doesn't do it for me. I need the high of going and seeing shows live.
Same.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But so tell me how all you guys got together with your bandmates and like how did that come about and was it really difficult or did you just click or things like that?
Well, I can tell you. So for me, I have been singing for a while. Like prior to like the pandemic, I was just kind of doing, I was like writing for other people and kind of just doing, I would say backing vocals prior to that. Um, But it wasn't until like the pandemic and I was like, oh, I'm so bored. And I was calling my friend from college, Jabari, and I was like, yeah, it would be so cool if we could like see each other and like write music. And then he was like, you do realize we're like adults now. You can totally do that. And I was like, oh yeah. So that's how that happened. We wrote the original stuff. So like The Flower and the Serpent and all of that was written like in the pandemic around like end of 2020, early 2021. And then we went and we've been friends for over a decade now. That's so long. But that's literally, we have such a good synergy when it comes to like writing. It's always like half of me and like half of him, and it's been beautiful. I actually met Josh 3 years ago. And I originally actually hired him for bass, but like then he turns out to be really also very good at guitar. So I was like, and Jabari heard him and he was like, yeah, I think we
Yeah,
can
no, so
switch now.
the funny part about that actually is that I was watching their music video for Flower, and then I saw Jabari with the six. I think it's a six string bass he has, right? So I was like, oh, you need a bassist kind of thing. And then like I forget if she said anything at first or just said yeah or like whatever, because I think Jabari like um after that video started doing guitar or something like that. So then she was like, "Oh yeah," but then like I didn't realize that he was actually like the actual bassist kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then so I was like, "Okay." So then I started learning the songs on bass, and then we go to do that last video, the live session that we just did, and then like Jabari was like, okay, you know what? Let's because like I was doing good and he was doing good on on our opposite roles, but then he's like, you know, let's check for a second. So we switched, and instantly we just like got like the switched roles. But then we're like, okay, this is really stupid to do the next day, like switching roles. So we're not gonna do it. But like we could do it, but like we didn't do it. It was funny. Yeah, so that was funny. Like the or the extended strings or whatever you want to call that kind of guitars is what threw me off for that. But yeah, I'm mostly guitarist. I can play bass, but not like a amazing bassist. Yeah.
He was very good at bass. Don't let him say that to you.
Yeah, I
I
was
mean,
gonna
I
say,
just don't have all the
yeah,
extra tricks.
I like that, it's like when the guitarist, it's when the guitarist says, I'm a guitarist who plays bass, right? I'm not a bassist.
Yeah.
That's an important thing. I think it's very I've always been that way. It's like, yeah, I play bass, but I'm a guitarist. It's like that's not, yeah, it's different. You can tell. A
Yeah. It's like for my
bassist,
personal stuff, yeah, I'll play my own bass, but it's like you got bass, it's cool. They can play bass.
Yeah.
yeah.
We need to make sure our bass player doesn't hear this. We can start giving him ideas. Because he's probably for sure a more talented musician than us than the two guitarists in our band. He's probably a better guitarist than the two of us. So we need to make sure he does not find out about that.
so how did you get together with
Yeah,
your bandmates?
yeah. So kind of I mean, kind of a kind of came out of the uh we we uh, we kind of came out of the Flash Band world, which is
Oh, that's cool.
surprising. We so I hadn't been playing that much music since I learned how to play guitar when I was younger, but I really wasn't doing any music anything until like my later 20s. I just from a relationship I was in, we started doing like flash band things. And through that I met our drummer, and then our drummer went to grad school with his other guitarist, convinced him to come out and do a flash band. We played that together. They knew somebody else who played bass and also played guitar. And kind of the pieces sort of came together that way. And we all kind of looked around and realized, like, hey, do you want to not do covers of 80 songs that we don't really like? Do we want to just what do you guys listen to? Oh, you like the same sort of stuff. All right, like yeah, let's do that instead of getting like maybe we'll get our one song in our in our four song set that we're really excited about. And so we kind of just formed our own band that way, and kind of kept up the momentum. And yeah, I think when we started, we all lived less than a mile from each other in DC, and now we are completely spread out across the DMV, but still meet up in DC. So like we practice weekly. So um, yeah.
What what has been the hardest thing about being an independent musician? Like, and what tips do you have for others?
I mean, I think the hardest thing, especially if you're like a group with a lot of people, is just like coordinating schedules and actually staying committed and on task to things is probably the biggest blocker, especially because especially if you're at the point where like music isn't necessarily your like main main thing. You know, you have your day job. Like
Yeah,
being able to still keep the momentum up around this artistic endeavor that you're doing kind of off on the side can sometimes like that's really easy for it to start taking the back seat. Um, and so I think we've done a good job of, with through ups and downs of it, but like of just like continuing to stay consistent, find ways to plan it, schedule it. And we genuinely like hanging out with each other. You know, we're all friends, so like that makes it easier. But just like staying, just like finding ways to stay consistent with it, so it's not that thing that ends up, it gets pushed off, and then all of a sudden it's been like 6 months and you haven't even picked up your guitar. Is is good. And like through all the life event, like I'm in the suburbs. I've got a kid who's not quite asleep upstairs. Like we've still been able to kind of keep it up as 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 life gets crazy. So
Samaya and Joshua, what about you guys?
So for me, I think it's true. You kind of have to be friends, and I think that we're kind of there at this point. Like, we work really well together. I would also say that as far as the hardest challenge, I think it's just, I think for some it probably would be getting your music out there. For me, that is something that I would probably also count as like advice. It's just learning. Don't be afraid to like learn. Unfortunately, like today, that you kind of have to learn to like both be a musician and learn to promote yourself. And I think that I had to learn to do that. At the time, I think I took like a class, it was like $40. But because of that one class, I was able to like build a a listener base that just exists without me really having to do something every day. And it doesn't have, and it's not a huge budget that I did that on. I think it was like $5 a day in ads for like 4 days a week. And even that in over just the last 2 or 3 years, whereas that's done so much for us. We have like a much larger listener base than before. And the funny, ironic part is like one of the videos that we recently posted was just to thank the, I don't know, like maybe 500 to 700 people that were listening to us monthly for no reason, and then from there it just grew even more because I had posted it on TikTok for fun and that went even further and it like went mini viral. I think now it's sitting at like 320K, but like it's you learn to advertise yourself. I used I guess a quick tip is a site called Indepreneur. And I just learned how all of that stuff worked, whether it was learning to advertise on Google, they have learning to advertise on Facebook, Instagram, all of that good stuff, how to build your website, code it with different things is so valuable. You're going to need it because no, you may be someone who's super lucky where like people will find you in all the noise, but 9 times out of 10, I think that you're
Yeah.
gonna have to put in some footwork to make it happen. And that is such a valuable skill because once you learn it and can set it up yourself, you can't unlearn it. So you'll just keep growing. It's almost impossible not to grow because you know what you sound like, you know the bands you sound like, you know who your audience is. And that's all you have to target to keep going.
Yeah. Do you find that that stuff takes up so much of your time that you don't have time to create music?
Not at all. I think
No?
because for me, it was very hard when I was first learning, but like once you have it and you actually understand it, all I do is kind of like pick the like what would be called ad sets or like and basically that's just like what bands I think people would like based on whatever clip I'm using. And that let it go, people find it.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. And that was in one course or one
Yeah.
person
Well,
or
it's
just
a one website, but there's several courses for a bunch of stuff. There's even
yeah.
stuff for like how to, if you're interested in filming your own content, like they just do a whole bunch of like modules of like how to like color grade it and edit it so that it looks, better. It's very cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, all that stuff is really important. It's
Mhm.
what we struggle with probably the most.
Yeah.
It's like not it's like the thing that comes the least natural, I think, to any of us because like
Anybody.
I don't think any of us are making music to make TikToks,
No.
or making music to do like Facebook ad campaigns for promoting, like that's not like I mean I work in marketing, but like it's not what I want to do in my free time,
No, it's not
you
it's
know.
not fun. It was
So
very
like
grueling to learn. I'm not gonna lie to you, but like it
yeah.
it is so important because it will grow. Like, and for me, I kind of go at whatever pace I'm happy with. Like, I've not stopped the $5 thing because that's just more. I'm not trying to overdo it. I'm just here. Like, if you see me, you see me. That's cool. But at the end of the day, it's grown my account. I think from maybe this time last year to like from like 500 people to like 7,000, and that's not a lot, but it's a lot of people that are sticking around and like actually paying attention. And I think that that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great to hear. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out.
I
So
can send it to you.
I have one more question I always ask people. And you may not have an answer, but do you have any Spinal Tap moments? Have you all seen that movie?
I haven't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Explain.
So,
Okay.
Andrew, Spinal Tap moment. Oh, there
Well,
he goes.
like what are you
This goes,
counting
this
as your
goes up
Spinal
to
Tap
11
moment?
right here. Where is it? I don't know if you can see the numbers. My M goes up to 11.
There you
Awesome.
go.
Oh, hold on one second. So David's battery died. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Like the funny moments. You fall off the stage or something happens.
Oh
Or
God, well our other guitarist Nick is just like permanently cursed. I mean, like not like our shows always go well, so it's not like our shows don't go well or anything like that. But he's had like anything that can possibly go wrong with your gear during a show has happened for him. Like he's had strings break. He's had the strap like the strap break off his car. He's had the thing that holds the strap break off of his guitar in the middle of the show. He's had the input jack for his amp, basically the housing of it come loose and fall into the cabinet of the amp, so he couldn't actually like plug in. There's like, and it's happened at I mean like uh it doesn't happen in most shows. We play a lot of shows, so it's not like it's everything. But Yeah, we've had tons of moments like that. Actually, all right, sorry. Our actual like biggest one, and I think I can talk about it now because it's not a venue anymore. But before COVID, we played a show at Slash Run, and our bass player accidentally we were setting up, and we were like trying to figure out like, oh, there's like not enough outlets. Like we're trying to plug stuff in. He accidentally unplugs this one outlet, and it's all the way at the front of the building, so you think it wouldn't really matter. Maybe it's like a light or something around the stage. It was their whole point of sale system for the restaurant, and so they were not happy with us because we unplugged their POS, and they couldn't process credit cards, and it took like 40 minutes for the system to like reboot after it happened. So yeah, they weren't too happy with us,
Yeah,
but
at my actual job, I help out run some film studios, and it's hella funny because like I always tell the groups at the beginning, if I'm site repping, I'm like, just please don't unplug anything. Ask us how to unplug things because like stuff
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, well, and this was relatively early for us. I mean, this was 2019, so like this was when we had just gotten started. So just funny that
You gotta have moments like that, though. So when you're 70 and 80, you can, laugh about it.
and
Yeah.
we still talk about shutting down a shutting down a Slash Run because their point of sale wouldn't work.
Hey
I,
Joshua, you gotta show David what your volume, your 11.
Oh, yeah, my amp goes up to 11. Let me see if I can.
Yeah. I always ask about Spinal Tap moments. So
Can you,
he actually,
I don't know if you can
yeah,
read it from there. Like, yeah, it goes up to 11 on there. I don't know if you can see it.
yeah, that's awesome.
Good. Yeah, that's the gig you play when you got the bigger dressing room than the puppet show,
Yeah.
where that one is at. I'm so sorry, man. My computer like totally crashed out. So thanks for letting me back in, Danny.
Yeah, I almost didn't. I'm like, he can just sit
Wow.
there.
So did I come in just in time for the end?
Yes, yes, we're wrapping up.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Great. That's you were especially great after I left. So that was really really cool. But it's going to be a great show. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So you guys have the show coming up on Monday. Anything else you guys have coming up that you want to let people know about?
Specifically, I mean, we might be doing some more shows in September, probably, but not in the DC area, on our end. But yeah,
Okay, well, we'll have to come up with something then.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
Someplace
yeah.
where the point of sale system is in need of repair.
Right?
Uh, um, so,
Rapidly
and
scanning through.
I've worked into the schedule. I personally love it when artists kind of talk a little bit, interact with the audience, and kind of tell people about their songs and whatnot. So feel free to, take over and do whatever you guys want on stage. And yeah, we're really looking forward to it. We're excited to have all of you. So, um, all right. Well, thank you very, very much. We will put everybody's links up in the post, and we'll see you guys on Monday at the Pocket.
Excited.
All right.
Excited.
Thanks so much, guys.
See ya.
Wait, catch you later. Thanks for being on the show. See ya.
Thank you for having us. See ya.
Absolutely. Bye
Right.
bye.